You are listening to the New Book of Daniel podcast. Hello and welcome to the New Book of Daniel podcast. My name is Daniel Bobinski. I'll be your host on this adventure. Today we're talking about cancel culture from the left and what patriots might be able to do a little bit differently with a little more ethics and honor. You notice that as soon as Joe Biden was claimed to have been the victor in this recent election, obviously nobody has been determined to be the president-elect yet, no matter what the media might tell you. But as soon as they thought that Joe Biden won the presidency, the left pretty much tipped their hand. I mean, they started showing their true nature, right? Cancel all the conservatives. Prevent them from getting jobs. Don't let them get jobs in the universities. They're just not deserving to work in the public sector. We need to push them out. I'm talking about like Jennifer Rubin at the Washington Post, who said that they need to have a list and keep track of who's going to be working in the public sector. They can't have those jobs. They can't work in education. And Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from Eastern Libtardia, who was telling us that she wants a list. And they even created a website where you could start making a list. That website's since been debunked. I think they realized, oops, we might not win this. But so that website's been shut down. They say it's because that Joe Biden wants unity. I think it's because they realized they were tipping their hand a little bit too much. But here's my point. These guys are acting like fascists. They call Trump the fascist. But let's take a look at what the dictionary says about fascism. And let's turn to our friendly Webster's dictionary. A centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. Let's listen to that again. The forcible suppression of opposition. Sounds kind of fascist what Ms. Rubin and Ms. Occasional Cortex is saying. And if they can't see themselves as acting like fascists, then I think we need to assign them the same disability as Stevie Wonder has. They're blind. We should take away their driver's licenses. They shouldn't be able to drive because they just can't see. It's crazy out there. Now, here's what I'm thinking. We've been hearing about the cancel culture, right? And I've seen it. I mean, even in Boise here where I live, there is Boise State University, and they have places on campus where local businesses can get space on campus. And there was a coffee house here in Boise that ended up getting some space to expand on the Boise State campus. Turns out the owner of said coffee house is engaged to an injured policeman, and she donates a portion of her profits to Back the Blue. Well, oh my gosh, the cancel culture refused to allow, and they basically kicked her off the campus. Total cancel culture, right? Well, interestingly enough, I've had some people approaching me. This is not something that I initiated, but some people have been approaching me saying we should do something that is more principled in response. And I said, well, tell me what you're thinking. It's not about canceling them out. It's about trying to just do what is right. Because you try to talk to these people on the left, and they don't want to hear it. They are totally sponging their Marxist ideology. They don't want to follow the Constitution. They want to change the country, and they're trying to cancel us out. Well, you've got at least half or better of the country who want to maintain the Constitution. So rather than try to cancel them out, let's just stand up and build a network of patriot-owned businesses who seek to do business with each other. And I'm thinking, this actually makes some sense. It's not been fleshed out yet. People have been talking to me about it. I've been talking to them about it, but it's kind of a cool idea. And so all I wanted to do today was say, if you're a patriot-owned business, start talking to some of your other patriot-owned business owners about building a network in your community to where you guys can provide support to each other and be proud of being a patriot-owned business. Yes, you might get the cancel culture trying to cancel you, but it's about standing up and saying, no, we're not tolerating that anymore. We're not going to put up with it. You guys go do you, we'll do us, have at it. There's certainly pros and cons to discussing it. There's things that need to be ironed out if it happens. I'm just saying, let's explore the conversation. Let's make it a conversation in our communities. If you're like-minded, go ahead and start that. Take initiative. One of the people that approached me reminded me of that video, perhaps you've seen it, where it's not the guy who starts dancing that gets the trend going, but it's the second guy that comes up that basically validates the first dancer. And pretty soon, everybody on the beach or in the park, they're all dancing, but it's the second guy who's the real power guy. And that's all I'm going to talk about today. I think the Democrats have definitely tipped their hands. We now know what their true intentions are. Despite all the talk of unity, their purposes are on display now throughout social media. We know what they're up to. So with that, I'm going to wrap. If you'd like to send me an email, send it to newbookofdaniel@outlook.com. newbookofdaniel@outlook.com. If you'd like to follow me on any of the social media platforms, just look up New Book of Daniel. And of course, if you want to follow my political writings, go to uncoverdc.com or Red State, and you can search for my name there. The New Book of Daniel podcast is produced by Shadowtrail Media, copyright 2020. This is Daniel Bobinski, and thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you on the next show. Until next time, be blessed.